Welcome to Farthest Frontier. We're going to be playing on the hardest difficulty, the Arid Highlands. Now, the Arid Highlands has very low resources as far as fertility, but has a lot of minerals like iron and gold and coal. Map size is going to be medium. Town name is Life is Pain because we're going to make it very hard for these people. All right, here we go. We got ourselves a nice area here, it looks like. Let's take a peek around and look at our resources. Gold, sand, deer spawns up here, iron spawns. An enormous amount of iron, infinite stone right here. This is like peak what you want for late game. We got some wolves for early game farming, infinite iron, infinite sand. Okay, so this whole area right here is perfect. So we want to build as close to this as possible. Not really where, ooh, infinite iron right there too. So right here where all these trees are, and we got some early game nuts. This is a beautiful spot. I think actually we got it. There's a deer spawn right there. Let's identify some early deer spawns so that we know where to go for food. Bunch of resources up here. Deer spawn right there. All right, so this is actually looking perfect. We're going to build organically. I have no pre-built ideas for any of this. Make sure you don't build on stone because it does take considerably longer to break stone down. But we're going to build right here on these trees. All right. Everybody is homeless and cold, so we need to remedy that as fast as possible. I do like that we finally got the mini-map. It's been a while since I've played. It's been about 8 months. But we're going to get right into it. So first things that we want to do is get as many trees down as possible. We want to get just a tad bit of stone for our first well. 32 right there is perfect. And we can prioritize that at a later point, but let's get them going. We only have ×3 mode, which is really more like ×2 mode because they slowed the main mechanics of the game down. So the game definitely has a longer feel to it than it used to. But we'll get around it, and we'll do the Lord's work here in a second. So I'm going to pause the game real quick. I'm going to go to my tried and true strategies. We're going to want to get a hunter cabin up, a smokehouse, firewood splitter, and we'll want to get a well. I'm going to put that on the other side over here. Now we're probably going to place our first houses kind of like around the well. It's not going to be pretty. We'll move our houses into a more uniform setting in a little bit, but let's get the basics going. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it, build it as I want. I mean, these nuts right here, we can harvest these nuts by hand. So that's pretty sweet. So let's just go down to our harvest resource. And, yep, harvest bushes. So we'll harvest these nuts by hand. That's another food source. We want to get eggs, which we kind of do. We'll need to build a forager for that. And the forager now has a tier 2 and could upgrade and produce a lot of food too. And that's not something I've actually played around with. And I'm really happy. Look how much just raw stone we have around us. Now, one of the things that we do need to look at is to plan out our future farming. And of course, I built on the best land. Yep, always do. Okay, cool. 40% is where we want. As long as we get 40% of the bonuses, we can pretty much do anything with farming. That's how it used to work. We want to stay away from the 20s and the crappies, but we can even get away with that. So, of course, another thing, though, is this is a good area for housing, too, because of the water bonuses. So, we're going to have to be really, really careful with how we do things. I have 30% over here. Pretty bad land. You can make it work on 20. I can make it work on anything. You just got to be smart, and you got to think, you know, 30, 40 years down the road. All right, cool. We got our first gent right there. Let's pause the game real quick. So I think what we're going to do is, at some point I am going to wall this area off here. I have a well here. We're going to have a market probably in the middle along with some other buildings. We're going to use a very basic building technique where you have a 4-tile gap in between houses. And we're just going to build something very, very simple. So I don't have to like really think or figure anything out at this point. Just do a 4-tile gap and get some houses going. So I am gonna want spacing for a wall. I think right here is a good spot. So we're gonna place 4 houses like so. Now you don't really need the houses to face roads. You can actually do whatever you want with them. So don't worry about that. I'm just having them face the road just because it looks nicer. Okay. So the hunter cabin, we're going to now try to go get some deer. We're playing on the hardest difficulty. We only have 2 months worth of food. We got deer and we got wolves up here. This could present some issues, but that's okay. Hunters are also great because they're your early game combat units. So we've got a... Ooh, yeah, nice. They kind of booted it up a bit. That's good. Alright, so we do need them to get rock. I'm going to prioritize this rock right here. And we'll get the smokehouse up. And then we'll get the well up momentarily. Get some water for everybody. Everyone's a little sad right now, and I don't blame them. I'd be sad too. Right, we're going to prioritize the smokehouse and the firewood splitter. We need to get firewood for the smokehouse, and we need to get the well up too. They get quenched pretty quickly in the early stages of the game. Got a nice little overlay control, which is kind of cool because you can see fertility just off the bat like that. This is actually really nice. You don't have any of that noise. Very cool. Ooh, look at that. We got some bushes over here. We might have some foraging potential after all. And then, ooh, yeah, I like this. So we could do trees over in this area. Not bad. A lot of good areas for trees. Very few. Yep. And you can see the water kind of follows. And this is desirability radius. So yeah, you don't want to build near your industry. Oh, nice. Really good area for grazing. That's amazing. So yeah, we're definitely gonna have chicken, cow, horse grazing, and then goats. So they made goats easier. This is the advantage of goats, is that they have better grazing areas. Okay, cool. They've made some really good changes here. But we got firewood. We got everything going that we need. Got a hunter out here. Ooh. See, this is gonna be the problem. These wolves are dangerous. He's got a sword. Food is food, right? They will chase though. We got another den over here. So, with that in mind, one hunter should be enough, but we're gonna get 2 hunters, since I think that we're gonna have a lot of food opportunity over here. We'll get another hunter up. Need to get this smokehouse up. Right now we're just eating raw meat, and it's doing the job, but it's a risky thing. We're gonna get everybody in a house here soon. Try to get some immigrants in. There we go. Smoker up. We're gonna need to tell them to get some more trees, but you know they're already doing it. We're gonna prioritize a few trees. Here we go. Getting that last house up to get us over that hump. Now we can have 2 more people move in. Perfection. All right, and since I need 1 more person out there looking for trees, 4 months food, 6 houses, and we can get a nice little wave. That's fine. Once we get some of this stuff built, we're gonna let them catch up. They definitely need to. And we need to get that water in ASAP so people don't die. Let's get builders over here. Let's look what we got going on. We have auto refill on. We got 2 people building. We have 6 laborers. We should be in good shape. We should be cutting down a lot more trees than we are. They're letting me down. All right, there we go. Got a well. Now people don't have to die. But you can still get dysentery. There's still probably going to be a lot of dysentery. Food should start coming in a little bit better now. Okay, I think we're in good shape. So we're going to stop building. We're going to start gathering a little bit more wood. We need to get firewood. We need to get this thing going. We need to get our food supplies better. We can have up to 16 folk. I'm going to put 1 person back into the firewood splitter. And yeah, we just need a little bit of meat. I think a second hunter is really going to help out here, but we're in really good shape. And sometimes you do have to manually control your hunting. He's doing a good job, though. It looks like they finally improved the AI on hunters. They had really messed it up when I played 8 months ago. The game is feeling cleaner. It's feeling a bit cleaner than when I last played it, so that's really promising. But yeah, we're in good shape. Harvest the resource, prioritize. Having to tell these guys what to do, but I think we're going to get back up and running here in no time. I think a few of them are getting nuts, and that's cool. The nuts are good. There we go. We just got a big old thing at 54 nuts. Yep. Going for the hazelnut bushes is honestly one of the best things you can do. Also food variety. And yeah, we might harvest some fruit. So you get a bonus to health for having food variety in this game, if I remember correctly. And now we can pick up some wood. Start smoking the meat. There we go. Look at that. All them nuts saved us. We can get some pastries later. It's a beautiful day for us. And yeah, sometimes it's best just to take the guy out of the firewood and take the guy out of the smoker. Have him get the wood first, because we need a good amount of logs. So if they're just sitting there twiddling their thumbs, they're not doing any good for you. Right on, look at that. We got ourselves another hunter coming. Awesome. This will just keep them safer. They can pair up and fight the wolves. We might even want to go up and kill a few wolves just to thin the herds. It's really easy to get caught up and get killed pretty fast. So the deer spawn up here is pretty substantial, to the point that, yeah, we have 4. Now we can overhunt the area, but that's okay. So, alright. So here's a hunter. Here's a hunter. We have 5 months of food. So what I want to do now that I have 2 hunters is I want to start taking out the wolves as much as I possibly can. Now, you don't want to get too crazy. So we kill all the wolves at this den. And I don't want to kill the wolf dens because I'm using them as a farm. So I need to get them alone. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Oh, they made the wolves a little squishy. I didn't know that. There we go. All right, look at him go. I want you to get this wolf carcass, sir. There we go. All right. Get some hides coming in, early game trade. All right, we got wood, so let's put the gent into the wood cutter. Put the gent into the smokehouse. Let's put a limit on how much wood we want to cut. I think 750 is a really good medium for us right now. Perfect. All right, we're getting to work. We got 11 out of 16 people. So just a small little hump there. But that's all right. How many of them are kids? Nice, no kids. It's always a good day. Kids are the, they're going to kill us all. And we're going to use a 2-tile... we can do a 2-tile gap for decorations or a 1-tile gap. Let's do a 1-tile gap for decorations. Yeah. Okay, 1-tile gap. We're going to build a bunch of houses. I think that's going to do well for us. So some of the next buildings that we need to get out are related to industry. Probably need to get a tower up at some point, but we need money. But yeah, we do need to start looking into that. So we have 2 hunters, though, that are going to provide a pretty decent early game defense, even on the hardest difficulty. But yeah, we need some Jesus. We need a couple of things here. So the first thing we want to do is get up our storage. Now I need to kind of start outlining the area that I think is going to be industry. I think up here is a great place for industry. We do have to keep in mind that they will try to destroy things. They will try to steal from us. They can't really steal anything out of the stockyard, though. So we do want to put this also close to where we're going to be doing most of our trees. So, oof, and stone. Okay, well, and sand and gold and all that. Okay, and then we're going to put this guy right here. And then we'll put the storage more over here. Start moving things around here momentarily. I think we have 3 months worth of food, so I'm going to wait till we have a lot of food and then start maneuvering things around. And we'll want to put a wall around this area here with the storehouse and trade post. I always just wall the center. Also, having all of your stuff around a center area where your first defenses are really lets you capitalize on your defenses. Like, I only need to have 2 or 3 towers instead of, 15, for instance. And I can cover the same area. So, pretty sweet. All right, look at that. Up to 28. So, it says once I get 6 houses and 4 months worth of food, you get a big old push. I got 4 months? Where my people? Okay. We've killed all the wolves. Nice. It looks like they nerfed the wolves so that you can effectively farm them. You do need to be careful, though, because if you build buildings too close, the peasants will take it upon themselves to destroy the wolf dens. So it's best to keep your residencies and things away from them if you're trying to farm them like I am. The deer are kind of getting low. So we got a good thing going on right now. And one thing I like to do really early in the game is get one of my first farms up. So we do have wolves and stuff like that over here. This is going to be a really interesting build because it is going to be pretty organic. I mean, like, the best area for us to farm... Here we go, 6 people. The best area for us to farm is over here. But we want to get our farm up now so that we have a reliable source of food. Now, I could put a farm down here, but it's really far for them to walk. If I wall this area, I think right here is where we're going to place our first farm. I'm going to try to keep these nuts. So we're going to do a 6 by 12. And I think we'll go 12 the long way. So let's do 6 by 12. And we can expand this into a 12 by 24 at a later point, going the whole distance. So that's a 39% fertility factor. That's a beautiful thing right there. So let's go down here. Let's make sure no one's doing anything stupid. Looks like we have no builders. Cool, we have 13 free laborers. Food is going to start getting pretty scarce. It looks like the hunter cabin is full. And he's saying that there's no meat. So that's cool. There's lots of meat, sir. There we go. Last year he produced that much. Okay. Well, we got our storage, so we need to just keep cranking along the main building lines here. Let's go down to storage. Let's get ourselves a root cellar. Now, the root cellar I'm actually going to place over here. Keep it close to the granary and things like that. And then the storehouse I'm going to place right here on the top side. This way I can have a road and I can have a wall. If I place it here, I can have roads going down either way. That's a toughie. It doesn't really matter, does it? Actually, it does. We're going to place it here, have roads, and have walls and towers. Perfect. So, yeah. The new dawn is here, so we can get some more food. There's a deer spawn down here I'd love to get my hands on. So, primarily food production is where a lot of people have problems in this game. So, just keep increasing food production and you'll be fine. Get our storehouse up there, get our storehouse up there. So I think what we're going to do is have a double road, and you can hold shift with the dirt road tool to make it straight. Straight angles, you don't have to worry about that stuff. I'm going to have to move our storage over one. That sucks. Okay, that's cool. So we'll move this guy over one. Perfection. And then we're gonna just have a double wall system around the whole area. So once we get the... But yeah, right now what we need to do, go to our resource tab and get our saw pit up. I'm gonna place the saw pit right next to storage. Maybe like right across the street from it would be a good spot. There we go. We want it. This has one of the largest negative desirability radiuses, so you want to be smart. You can see it's showing now where with the tiles, but that's pretty cool. Perfection. Beautiful day for all. There we go. We're hunting in our own territory now. We got a good amount of food coming in. We got the basics. We just need to keep plugging along. I typically like to hit about 28, 30 people. The more people you have, the higher the difficulty. So you really need to make sure you have like your basic defensive infrastructure before expanding. If you go to 100 and you haven't built more than like 2 or 3 towers, like you're gonna get wrecked. So you can actually expand way too quickly. The way that this game works is that difficulty is based upon population size and time. So, and it's random. Sometimes you can get some really hard raids at the beginning of the game just by bad luck. You gotta be a little careful. All right, gonna get some boards. We need more people cutting down trees. There we go. I'm gonna highlight some trees, but yeah, we got a lot of good folk out doing the Lord's work. Perfect. Then we can get a market up, start getting some money, start getting some defenses up, start looking at trade. So the trade post, I'm thinking, the trade post can be on any side. So what we need to do is start moving things. And we're going to need to do a little bit of terraforming. I know people love watching me terraform for 14 hours. So I'm going to give you... No, just a little bit of terraforming, don't worry. I promise it won't be too much. So yeah, we're going to get our industry area all set up. So we have a lovely storehouse right here. And a defensive perimeter. 4 months worth of food. All right. So I'm gonna place the hunters a little bit closer to where we're doing everything. I'm gonna place them up here. Perfect. They can help each other out and defend each other. Gonna have to do a little bit of terraforming. So terraform this twice, make it flat. Perfection. Things are looking up. And then the smokehouse we can also place up here. Just gonna try to maneuver everything. We'll put this right next to the stockyard so it's easier for it. And yeah, we're in good shape. And then we'll put the trade post probably over here. Wall this off. Fun will be had for all. Got another residential area over here that we can put up. Down here is going to be kind of our mid to late game farming area. We're going to keep this simple. We're going to build this up nice and sweet. It'll be great. Definitely going to need to get a Fletcher going at some point. I think I'm going to actually cancel this house. We need a lot more wood than we have. And we probably only need, 2 people in the saw pit. I may put a cap on wood planks, but we'll not do that for now. And let's just make sure that we're cutting down any and all trees. Lumber is probably one of the best early game trade items for a lot of reasons. You also need a lot of it. So we'll get a forester up, upgrade him. We're going to need some clay bricks and iron to get a tier 2 forester and start planting our own trees. So I'll show you how to do all that jazz too. All right, so down here we are bringing in a little bit of meat. I don't feel like he's doing his work. What's he doing over there? Oh yeah, he's doing something. He's having a good old time.
What is it?
What is it? Get to work.
On it.
That's what it is. There we go. Nice shot. All right, yeah, get us some food, lady. We're starving. All right, perfection. All right, now this hunter camp can be moved here. All right, cool. Got a lot of terraformed action going on, and we just need a 2-tile gap in between a lot of these areas. So we're doing really great. Tier 2 is close. We just need 30 people and 8 shelters, so I guess I do need to build that last shelter. We have the wood for it now. Okay, perfect. Get that down. Everybody's doing a great job. All right, look at that. We're doing great.
What is it?
Now we have our gents right here, farming the wolves, farming the deer. Got lots of food. Almost have our crop field up. I do feel like we could probably get a forager up too. So let's do that. Let's get a forager up right over here next to all these bushes right here. It's a good spot. We could probably get the eggs too if I position it correctly. That's good. These bushes I'm just gonna do by hand. This is perfect. But we got a lot of good things coming on. And we may even decide to, yeah, I'm gonna do this instead. Alright, we're gonna put the road right here. That way I can have the trade post and I can have a road going out if I need to. Probably should have done the same over here. That's okay. Alright, look at that. Let's pause the game real quick. Let's do some basic crops. So, beans. Beans are awesome. Anything that doesn't reduce fertility is awesome. We have a environmental fertility factor of 39%. What that means is that we only get 39% of any fertility gains. We get 100% of fertility loss, though. That's what makes it difficult. So, anything that lowers fertility needs to be offset by something that increases it. We're going to need a compost yard. So yeah, leeks are awful for us. Pretty much everything is awful for us. Buckwheat is awesome because it's only -1. Grain is really, really valuable early game. So that kind of limits you, and you want to make sure that you're not introducing a crop rotation that's going to lead to issues like disease. So in the beginning, you want to get the weeds down. We have slightly enough food. So what I like to do is something like this, where you have something reducing weeds, something increasing fertility. And if I remember correctly, clovers will actually help with some weed suppression. And then you do something like this. You just do beans. This typically actually works without having any kind of issue. And you only need 1 worker per 72 square tiles. So 6 by 12 like this, we actually only need 3 workers. Yeah, 3 workers per 72. So we're going to boot that down and get this show on the road. Perfect. All right, 18 out of 32 folk. So we have enough to go to tier 2 as soon as we get everything in motion. We got a good thing going. We're scaring the deer. We're eating well, and everything is grand. All right, we don't have any fish, so I'm going to turn that off because it's giving us a warning that we don't have enough meat when it's the fish, so I think that's what we need to do there. All right. And now that we have potentially what we need, yep, let's get the market stall up. So look at that radius. So I think we're going to put the market more so... Dang, do they... I feel like they... No, they did. They increased the market tremendously. You could fit a lot of houses. You couldn't fulfill the needs of all those houses. I forgot that they increased desirability ranges, so you can pretty much build anything you want. So yeah, a 1-tile gap is going to be more than enough. This is going to be crazy, actually. We're going to be swimming. The raiders will attack the market, so sometimes it's actually best to position the market. We can always move the market, so let's keep the market a little close to the defenses just for now. And we have enough stone, boards with 44 of 50, so we'll get that market stall up, we'll get some money, get our first early game defenses. We're also really, really close to being able to get this up. I'm a little afraid that we're not going to have enough trees. It's usually the problem with the arid highlands. It's really hard to keep the lumber coming in, but we'll try our best. There we go. We'll get some beans. I don't know how many beans we're going to get. Let's see. Planted 420. With the weed and rockiness level, I'll be happy to get 100 off that. That's a lot of food for us at this stage of the game. And beans, they last about 18 months when they're properly stored in a root cellar, so they'll last us to next year. It is year 2, mid-autumn. Oh, look at that, over 100. Not bad. We got ourselves a good diet here. Meat, nuts, beans. Living on the hog. High on the hog. Yeah, they definitely nerfed the hunting camps quite a bit. Alright. Yeah, we're doing great. We got lots of firewood. Not a whole lot of wood, but, you know, we're doing the best we can. There we go. Market stall up. But boom. Alright, let's get that money in. One worker there. Let's take a peek and see how our village professionals... Professions. Okay. Yeah, village professions. I'm like, village professionals? What the heck? Alright, yeah, everything's doing pretty sweet. We got 5 laborers, which is not enough. So we do need a few more people. I'm pretty sure we have some screaming kids in here now. Yep, 1 infant, 2 adolescents. This is great. Picking up all the resources. Over here, you can see we do have a bit of trees we can cut down. That's a beautiful thing right there. Lots of stone. It's going to help us out quite a bit. Looks like the deer have been fully hunted in this area. I always want to say harvested. There we go. Let's poke this over to get the eggs too. Perfection. And what's cool is you can set priorities now on things. So if you want herbs or anything like that, you can prioritize that. A little bit of storage. Items produced. Very, very cool. But yeah, we can cultivate selected resources once we get a bit of clay and some boards. Foragers are really cool now. That's a new addition to the game. Alright, we have a year's worth of food. We should start seeing a lot more settlers coming in. We are getting 8, 1 per house. So the more houses we have, the more money we're going to get. A big influx of people coming in. This is why you do want to get your farms going. We got 200. That's not bad. Yeah, this is why you want to get a farm up as pretty much as soon as possible. We'll take all of them. There we go. It's 26 out of 32. I think that we will probably want to get a few more houses up. Let's just get up to like maybe 40 folk in here. So 2 more houses. We're going to flatten this whole area. And I think we have what I need here. Yeah, 3 tiles. 3 tiles. Perfect. Because we're going to have a wall, a layer, and a wall. We'll have towers in between all the way around. We have a trade post right here. Lobby tier 2. We're going to need a lot of wood for our early game defenses. Alright, here we go. 1, 2. Well, 2 is enough. We'll do 3. We'll do a little bit over 40 pop. But, yeah, we'll have a nice little town. This is looking a little crooked and it's kind of making me sad. So, do 1 pass in terraforming. Very good. We want to have ample available housing to really increase that immigration rate. Boom. Alright. This one well is doing a great job. But yeah, we got a good infrastructure here between the forager shack and everybody else, and the nuts and the farms and the meat. I think we're going to be in really good shape here. Those last houses up. We need 3 more people, a bit more boards. I'm going to focus everyone pretty much on trees at this point. I don't care if it's a shrubbery or whatever. Wood is wood at this point. It's a pretty dirt pathy area. Not the best. Keep it simple, though. That's the best way to survive in this game. Just keep it simple. Yeah, compost costs 4 per month. Pretty darn expensive. We can't make I'd love to get baskets. Baskets would be great, but I don't see anything like that. We'll have to do some exploration. The tannery would be wise. So let's start getting people in proper clothing for defenses. Hide coats are very, very, very amazing at low levels. And let's get a couple things. Let's get boot maker. Let's start basket maker would be great, but we don't have it. The Fletcher for sure. This can be placed anywhere, pretty much. We need a 3 tile area here. Yeah, we could place it right here. Perfect. As long as I have 3 tiles right here, which I do, we're good. So the road for this area will be like such. There we go. Perfect. Everything's coming together real nice. We're at 30, but I just spent some of my boards. We do need to get the Fletcher up ASAP, though, because if we run out of arrows, then we can't hunt. It's one reason that farming is actually really valuable in the early games. I'm going to move him up here. We're going to start prepping for the defendable area. Max of 44. We're going to keep it right here, like I said. Let's grow into our population, get the proper defenses, proper industry. There we go. Got the tannery going. We're going to start making a lot of good hide coats. Got ourselves the Fletcher. So we're going to set limits. We don't really want more than 40 bows at a given time. And arrows, we don't really need more than 2,000 for the future. I mean, this is actually a lot, but we'll just keep it going. This is going to cost us a bit of wood. We might actually want to bring this down to like 1,000 because we just don't have a lot of wood right now. And I might actually want to bring my bows down to 20. So yeah, we'll keep it simple, and we don't need too many bows. We need more arrows than anything, so 3-to-1 ratio while we build up our reserves of arrows for our hunters. Our smokehouse is going strong. Saw pit's going strong. Everything here is going great. So the next thing that we need are boots. So let's get our cobbler shop up. That right here. Perfect. Yeah, a little bit of boards. So we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna grow into everything. And I'm kind of scared. Tier 2 will bring the work camp for us. We've kind of hunted everything out here. Upgraded hunters are amazing because of traps. Every little bit counts at these stages of the game. We have so much coal that we're most likely going to do coal, get a coal mine up and start just straight trading coal. One of the best early game trade items just because of how easy it is to get. Cool, we got a cobbler. But we want to make sure that everybody's really happy and productive. We want to make sure our productive values are as high as possible. We're getting the most out of our people. Yeah, we're doing great. We got lots, no spoilage, lots of protein, lots of vegetables, fruit. No dairy, no luxury quite yet, but we're doing great. All right, and once we get 60 more wood planks, we're going to be able to upgrade the tier 2 and start getting a lot more hammered out. Got to figure out what we're going to do for wood. We'll get a work camp up. That will help out a little bit. But we'll need to get into trade as fast as possible and start planting a lot of trees. Otherwise, we're going to be in bad shape. Now, in theory, I could pay money. This was an early game way to get wood, is to literally just plant the tree yourself. It's not... I mean, I might have to go old school. So, you know, that's 15, 30 gold right there. But, you know, wood is pretty hard to get right now. So I'm just going to do this preemptively. So, because each one of these should yield like 8 or 9. So that's a lot of wood for us if we need it. So I don't tend to like to do that as much as I mean, this used to be the old school method, but I feel like we need to. So, yep, we got 2 new villagers. Perfect. So right off the bat, you can get 3. Oh, they changed it, didn't they? They don't grow anymore. It's just... Oh, no. Now you get 4. Okay. 3 and 4. So we'll watch them. We'll see what happens. Yeah, they're growing. Perfect. They're actually better than they used to be because they used to start off as little babies. Now they start off at a much higher rate. That's cool. An expensive way to do this, but, you know, when you... it's pretty funny, too. We're going to go a little crazier than I thought, in fact. I need to make sure that we have lots of wood. So, even at 4, it's worth it for me just because of how little wood I actually have in the barren waste here. So, yeah, we'll do that. We got a good amount of food. I like to sit at, you know, about 6 months worth of food. We're sitting at a very comfortable population for us, so we'll just leave it. We're getting boots on everybody. All of our needs are met, you can see. Cleanliness is met. Everything is met. 100% for all. Clothing and shoes. Clothing is going to be an issue, but we can always purchase clothing until we can produce it ourselves. And, you know, the weeds and the rockiness are coming down here. Let's see what we got for keys in the last autumn. 210. Okay. So we should probably get about 240 this year, and that will help out a lot. The 8 stone. We should probably start harvesting a little bit more stone. Okay, the maple is at 4. So I'm not sure if it goes past a 4 yield on planted, like I said. But we'll find out. I'll let them grow for just a little bit. But yeah, even 4 is really good for us. All right. The tannery needs more water. So we're going to get ourselves a well over here, even a crap well. And you can see that trees, planted trees especially, do increase the water bonus. So they still do that. That's cool. That's good to know. I'm going to put the well right there. With that knowledge, we definitely want to go back to the old school method of putting trees next to wells. This is something that you'll see in a lot of videos, and if you're wondering why people do that, it's because it gets a water bonus. So place 2. Typically, you want to surround the whole dang thing, though. Ooh, we have a fire. Yeah, so especially in the industry area, we're going to want this well up pretty much ASAP to put out fires. They have to walk quite a distance to get water, so that kind of sucks. All right, look at this well up. Get our tannery back in action. We're getting real close to getting to tier 2. Oh, we're still at 4. That might be the cap. Alright. Well, I'm going to leave the first ones that I planted up. I'm going to cut the rest because I think I want the wood. I want a nice surplus of wood right now. Yeah, I'm greedy. But that is a good amount of wood. And if you place it right next to your stockyard, you're in good shape. Alright, there we go. We got the well up there. This is perfect. Everybody's doing a great job. And we'll watch these trees and see what they can do. I mean, these trees I'm never going to cut down, so pretty sweet. And let me go and see what kind of water bonus we're actually getting. It's hard to tell because this area was already good. Probably should have looked at the water bonus before I did all this, but we got a total bonus of 74%. Terrain, season, nearby well penalty 0. So pretty sweet. 75% water bonus for production. There we are. 2 new people came, and 1 villager was born. There we are, man. That is great. We're going to crank up saw pit production so we can get this tier up. Nice. I think we're going to get over what we had last time. Very good. Very good. Food is coming in strong. I'm going to harvest this 120 stone right there. I think we're going to need to expand this next 6 by 12. So we're going to expand this into a 12 by 12. Time. We're going to need more food. I can feel it. Got a lot of people too, so this is a great time to do all these things. Alright, tier 2, here we come. Let's upgrade this bad boy. Select the build site, prioritize, crank it up. Let's get this show on the road. This will be the better part of everything right here. We got a few wolves, so I'm gonna go hunting. Got our 2 hunters here. Let's go wolf killing. Do it. Right. Good to thin the herd every once in a while so they don't get too crazy, because if they catch one of you off guard and there's 4 of them, they're gonna just mess you up. So this is great. We also get a bunch of food and pelts and things that we need to make boots and hides, so fun to be had all around. Perfection. Alright, here we go. Tier 2. Thing is gonna be beautiful. Boom, so much pretty. Alright, cool. So we have achieved tier 2. With it comes a lot. A lot. The main thing that we want from all of this right now, though, is a trading post. So the trading post is going to go right here. We also have room for 1 more storehouse. I like to keep my storehouses very... Ooh. Oh, this is new for me. Storage... Yeah, storage depot. Storage used to store all items. I don't remember this. That's cool. Oh, this is like for items. That's interesting. If it can store everything, put 2 of those in there. It's a lot of wood, but dang. Coolio. Now we also have defenses, so... Oh, nice. Look at this. Wide palisade gates. You have double roads and stuff. That's pretty neat. Alright. Yeah, these are all really neat things. Yeah, this is cool. I don't remember some of this stuff, so that's really neat. Alright, wall there. This is going to be pretty much the only two ways in is from up here. And then, yep, do walls in the corner. Right now I'm just getting everything out so I know where to not build. Daisy. Okay, yeah, we're in good shape. We're gonna have ourselves a good time now. It's gonna be quite a bit of wood to get the defensive area up, but because I have this right here, these gates are so freaking expensive. We're gonna put the gates up. Oh, look at that, you can have it corners now. That's cool. Oh man, they did a lot of neat stuff. Now I can have my towers in here. So this will be the first defensive area that we do. We're just gonna get it going. Put a tower right there to help protect all my industry. And this is cool. So this stores everything. We don't want it to store food or raw materials, but let's see, how much storage do we have here? 800 versus 2,000. Okay. So these little depots, these are pretty cool. They're just smaller versions of this, so you can fit more into areas. They only get 2 barrels though. But we're not storing any food over here, so these are neat. I think these are good for like little outposts and stuff like that. But we're gonna use both of them. It's always nice to have variety, right? And we'll get the walls up here in a second. Perfection. Okay. And then we'll get our first tower up. Now we don't have a really good range, you know, height terrain bonus here, but whatever. It's gonna work. Yeah, this actually kind of sucks. Probably should have built it up a little bit more, but it's okay. It's gonna do what it needs to do. One there. Yeah, perfect. And then one over here. And then a tile in between. Perfect. This will be good for now, though, once we get the gates up, protecting the towers. We're gonna have one tower for now. We're already out of wood. And, oh, it went up to 5. It went up to 5. I'm gonna harvest them anyway, because I just need the wood really bad. And we're gonna continue to harvest everything above the thresholds here. There's a lot of really crappy trees, but the best we can do. We're gonna need to get a work camp up next as well. So go to resources. Let's see, work camp. So we're gonna need, of course, a wagon shop. Treasury there. All right, wagon shop time. I'm gonna place the wagon shop right here. Need 15 for that. We got a lot going on. This is a little rough. I do like some of these new buildings though. I think that's pretty much it for new stuff though. I don't see like any new decorations or anything else since I last played 8 months ago. All right, gents. Well, that is chapter 1 for you. If you want to see more of this, I'll make more if it gets the views. Otherwise, not much has really changed, except for some really good flow. So I think they're doing a good job. I hear that 1.0 is on the horizon and it has an insane tech tree. So it's going to be exciting to see where the game goes. Everyone have a great rest of your day.